You do not need a capital I internship in order to land your first full-time, entry-level, professional, salaried job. Really, what you need is to effectively market your education skills and experiences in a way that resonates with hiring managers in your target industry. So today, I'm going to talk about some categories of experiences that you probably have that would work just as good as an internship when applying for those entry-level jobs. So the first thing I want to talk about are projects. And a project could basically mean any situation where you take what you've learned and you have applied it into a real world scenario. So for technical students, that could be something like a lab experiment. It could be some code that you've uploaded to GitHub. It could be an engineering capstone, really anything where you've kind of applied your technical trade. This could even go for more like technical non-STEM degrees like the arts or marketing. And for the liberal arts students, this could be something like, club involvement that you've done, maybe you worked with a nonprofit, maybe it was volunteer experience. Really any way that you've applied what you've learned in the classroom to a real world scenario is going to count as a project, whether it was through an organization, whether it was paid, or whether it was a personal project like 3D printing that you've done. Really what you want to communicate to employers is that you have the foundational knowledge necessary in order to get started in the target industry that you're going into. The fact of the matter is that all industries are going to have company-specific proprietary processes, say that 5 times fast, that they use that you just won't be prepared for through your academic studies. College is preparing you to be a generalist. That way you can go into lots of different types of organizations within your target industry and get started on the road towards being successful within that field. Projects are also a really good way for students who either were on a full ride scholarship or had parents paying for their school who ended up going through their academic journey without actually acquiring any work experience. Projects are a really good way for you to demonstrate that you do have some type of tangible real-world experience, even if it was self-driven. So I would highly encourage you to add a project section to your resume if that's something that applies to you. But let's say that you are working your way through school, but you don't have the time, financial ability, or for some other reason you can't do a directly related internship in the industry. Maybe it'll take away from your academic studies, maybe it would require you to move, but you're a caretaker of a parent. Maybe all the internships in your industry are unpaid, and therefore you just wouldn't be able to do it. One of the great ways to relate yourself to the industry that you're applying to is through tangentially relevant jobs. So what do I mean by that? Basically, I mean doing any type of support work that lends itself to the work that professionals in your industry are doing. So let's say that you want to be a civil engineer, but you just for whatever reason don't have the ability to do the civil engineering internships hosted by your college. You could become a GIS technician. You could become a drafter. You could work in the CAD software for an architect. You could even just work construction. Really anything that lends itself to what the industry is doing is going to be valuable experience, and it's going to really help when you're a professional working with those blue-collar workers because you relate to their experiences and you know what's going on the floor. You aren't just a designer, you aren't just a salesperson, you were an actual technician who lived out and used the products that the company is developing. So tangentially relevant work experience is a really good thing to seek out while you're in college because it'll help slingshot you into your professional career. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is extracurricular involvement in general. Even the most technical industries are inherently collaborative by nature. Companies are hiring you in order to do the human being side of the work and not just to be a computational robot. We literally have computational robots to do computational robot work. So you, as a human being employee, need to be able to do things like collaborate, communicate with others, and just generally generally work on a team in order to achieve some type of goal. And so extracurricular involvement is a really, really good way to communicate that you have developed those soft skills and that you've developed some professional self-awareness and how your particular role impacted the outcome of a group effort. So whether that's volunteer work, whether it's religious or secular, whether it's for a nonprofit and is especially prestigious, or even if it's something that you've just done on your own accord, could be something like athletics, could be, a charitable effort that you organized on your behalf, it doesn't really matter. You just want to communicate the skills that you used, the responsibilities that you had, and the outcomes related to that work that are most going to resonate with your target industry. And so that sentiment actually relates to the next thing that I want to say, which is that any experience you have is going to be as good as you can communicate it effectively to somebody else. You could have all the directly related experience in the world, but if you use very job description-y and cliche bullet points on your resume, it's not going to come across that you actually know how to do the job to the decision makers, namely the hiring managers in the industry. If you were a computer science intern and the only bullet point under that on your resume was like, coded a ticket-selling software app, that communicates nothing. That communicates absolutely nothing to another human being. But if you flush that out and say that you collaborated with lead software engineers in JavaScript in order to optimize the front-end user experience and interface of a ticket-selling software app, that communicates a lot more. And so whether your experience was paid or unpaid, whether it was extracurricular, whether it was unofficial, whether it was entrepreneurial, it doesn't really matter. You want to look through the job description of any target position that you're going for and see, okay, what are the basic education, skill, and experience requirements, and where in my history have I met those requirements? Was it through classes in my college degree? Is it through technical skills and certifications that I have? Was it through part-time jobs that I've had in the past? Really anywhere that you can directly connect your experience to what the hiring manager is looking for, that's the stuff that's going to be valuable when launching into your professional career as an entry-level professional. It is inherently a gamble to bring on anybody who doesn't have directly related industry experience, and so everything that you can do to communicate that you have the foundational knowledge necessary in order to get started in the industry is going to put you leagues ahead of the other candidates that you're competing against. You don't need to do a capital I internship. You just need to market yourself in a way that resonates with the hiring managers. And so I'm going to be making a lot of content about how to do that in the future, so be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so that you can see more content on what you can do in order to effectively pursue your goals and launch into your entry-level career. I'll see you in the next video.